Sahana vavatu sahanau bhunaktu sahaviryam karavavahai tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the Lord protect us. May He nourish us. May we acquire the capacity to study and understand the scriptures. May our study be brilliant and maybe not cavil at each other. Om, peace, peace, peace and all. Dear brothers and sisters, loving Sai Ram to all of you. I welcome all of you for the online satsang of the Sri Sathya Sai Baba Center of Arcadia. So we are going to start a new study guide. So this is the study guide specially prepared for the upcoming birthday celebrations, which we are going to celebrate in November. You know, Swami's birthday is 23rd November. There are 9 letters. Swami has written these letters to various spiritual seekers, devotees. And as we always say, Swami's words are essence of all the scriptures. So his every word, so at least Vishnu is a mantra. Just by contemplating just simple one word, there are people who just have attained the highest one. I remember a monk, he was going here and there everywhere, and when he came to see Swami, and he was sitting in darshan, and he was about to ask something. Swami says, "Kucho, let me just sit down." That man said, then after that he was about to leave, the people said he thought he was upset. He said, "Swami gave me a mantra. I don't need anything else." I said, "What mantra?" Because other people, because he was traveling all over to different monasteries, different ashrams, Himalayas, searching truth. He says, "Don't do all that. Just sit one place, contemplate like Ramana Maharshi did and all that." So just see that whatever Swami, one little word is like a mantra, depending upon how your heart opens. So, and every conversation of Swami, we say, is like a Gita, like Lord Krishna gave to Arjuna. And every discourse is like a Veda or Upanishad. And here, the letters which he wrote is very profound. One of the first letters Swami wrote was to his brother. We talked about in 25th May 1947. That is a very historic letter which reveals his divine power and his divine mission and his assurance given to the devotees, how he will take care. And these 9 letters which we have compiled are written by Swami to his devotees, some of the things we chose. We have similar, this is 9, we call that 9 gems, because every letter of Swami is like a precious gem. Last time we used 9 gems, a diamond. So that is, we used it for Guru Purnima, 9 letters. Now we used this thing as ruby, red. So these are all the things of God, give diamonds, rubies, pearls. So these are the things. That is why even Jesus throw not the pearls before swine. So these are really very precious. So we need to treasure them, think about them, contemplate on them, digest and practice. Then we will derive the benefit. So that is what we are going to do. So these letters, first letter we are going to read now. This is written to Dr. Hessler. So we'll read each letter. So as I said, there are 9 gems. Because also 9 gems we chose because what is 9 speciality? 9 types of devotion. We all know the Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Swaranam, Padasevanam, Vandanam, Archanam, so then Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. So all these 9 types of, that's why Swami used to even materialize 9 stones for devotees. So to indicate that Navavidha Bhakti, these are the things described in Bhagavata. Lord says that these 9 types of devotion. So that is why 9 gems were chosen. Even Shirdi Baba, when at the end, Lakshmi Bai Shinde, one of the devotees, before he left the body, he gives her 9 coins to symbolize 9 types of devotion. So 9 is a very Brahma Sankhya and devotes the path of devotion. So we will now start on the first letter, and this letter is written to Dr. Hislop. So please go ahead and read the letter.
Thank you, Dr. Reddy. Sairam, brothers and sisters. First letter. Let God work through you. To Hislop, 1. The best method of spreading Vedanta philosophy is to live it. There is no other royal road. 2. Let God work through you, and there will be no more duty. Let God shine forth. Let God show Himself. Live God, eat God, drink God, breathe God. Realize the truth, and the other things will take care of themselves. 3. True love expands the self. Attachment contracts it. 4. Heaven is within you. Seek happiness not in the object of senses. Realize that happiness is within yourself. 5. There is no rose without a thorn. Unmixed happiness is not to be found in this material world. All happiness is in Self Supreme. 6. In the lowest worm as well as in the highest human being, the same divine nature is present. The worm is the lower form in which the divinity has been more overshadowed by Maya. That is the highest form in which it has been least overshadowed. Behind everything, the same divinity is existing, and out of this comes the basis of morality. With blessings, Baba. So each one of these, as I read it, is for me like an aphorism, and it is summary of long writings in the Vedas and Upanishads, and it contains the basic truth in here that we are all divine. But how to attain that divinity? And Swami is saying the only way to do that is through practice. All that we hear, all that we know, unless we can reflect it in our life, then it is of no use. And then he's giving us some practical advice here that, if you hit some thorns in the life, some obstacles, some ups and downs, that is part of the process. And he's reminding us at the end that everything is divine, from the lowest form to the highest human being form, everything. But we are all deluded by Maya. And in Bhagavad Gita, as we saw before, at the end Arjuna says, my Maya is gone. He does not say I'm liberated or I've been enlightened. He says my Maya is gone. And Swami is reminding us that all we have to do is remove that Maya. And he's giving us some very practical ways to do that, that we should all know and practice. That is the beauty of his writing. It's so direct and so practical.
So I will go one by one because it is first, Swami says, the best method of spreading Vedanta philosophy, which is, but what is Vedanta? People should know what is Vedanta. Anta means end, Veda, end of Vedas. What is end of Vedas? Are the Upanishads. And what do the Upanishads teach? Upanishads teach mainly 4 Mahavakyas. Summary, there are many things. That means, finally, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. Tattvamasi, you are that Brahman. Prajnanam Brahma, the awareness is Brahman. I am Atma Brahma, I am Atma Brahma. So finally it stays, essentially it doesn't talk about, that is the Advaita philosophy. Upanishads teach that there is only one thing exists, that is God. That is Vedanta. So to spread that, because that is Swami's teachings, Shirdi Baba teachings, Ramakrishna Paramsa teaching, is, as we said, is to live it. That means practice it. So there are three important components in spirituality. One is Shravanam. We don't even listen, you don't even know what to do. So first you listen to the great masters, saints, sages, or any great holy person. You listen to them. First Shravanam. But yes, say first to Shravanam, it goes through one ear and goes to the other ear. There is no good. Then you should do mananam. You should contemplate it. What is this about? The Swami says, like a cow eats quickly the grass and go to a quiet place and choose the cud. Then it digests. Similarly, we should think, contemplate on that. That is important. Mananam is important. Then nididhyasana. Put it into practice. Otherwise, we will become, Shravanam Mananam is good, but then it will become, as Swami said, platform heroes, practical zeros. We are not anything. So to become a real hero, last time also we said, that is what Kathopanishads, Kachit Deraha, is by practicing it. That is why you can go to the history. Whom do you worship? Like in Jesus' time, there were great scholars and there are subsequently great philosophers like Socrates and Aristotle and Plato. You don't keep them in your altar worship. Whereas Jesus was not a great scholar, but he lived the life. He showed love and sacrifice, forgiveness. You worship him. Same thing, Sri Ramakrishna Paramsa was there, the great saint of Dakshineshwar, considered incarnation. During that time, there were great scholars and pandit like Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. He's called Vidyasagar, is like an ocean of knowledge. Keshav Chandra Vidyasagar. So many great scholars were there. They're all great people, but they're not worshipped. Sri Ramakrishna, he never went to even high school or college, but he's worshipped because his life was the commentary on the Vedas and Vedanta. And same thing during Shirdi Baba time, there are many scholars, like one guy called Kaparde. He used to be able to even give a commentary on Panchadashi, which is one of the great Advaitic treatises written by Vidyaranya. So he could give a commentary. But when it comes to around Shirdi Baba, who was not even went to any school or any place, he used to keep quiet because Baba is the source of knowledge. And same thing with our Swami. So many great scientists, scholars, Vedic scholars, even scientists come, they really, just being in his presence, they get enlightened because they live the life, their practice. So what we have to do is live the life, practice every day, by practice. Second point, Swami says, let God work through you. That means don't be an obstacle, because most of the time we said, I am doing, that is a ego. So Swami gave a beautiful example of a flute. So flute is dearest to Lord Krishna. And so even Radha asked, why is flute always at his lips? Why is he so close and dear to Lord Krishna? Because the flute is hollow. It is nothing, no obstacle at all. It lets God's melodies flow through the flute. Let God work through you. Just we should be a hollow. We should be the instruments. That is all like Sri Ramakrishna famous. Naham, naham, tuhu, tuhu. I am nothing, I am nothing. You are everything. So that kind of thing that, Lord, please work through me. Swami also said always. Then that is why Swami said, let God work through you. Just be hollow. Let not your ego come as an obstacle. That is why he says, live God, eat God, drink. That means everything we do is done for God. That is why Lord Krishna says, Yat karoshi, that means whatever you do, Yat ashnasi, whatever you eat, Yat juhoshi, whatever yajna, whatever work you do, Yat tapasyasi, whatever austerities you do, At dasya, whatever charities you give, everything, kurushva madarpanam, just give it to me. So that is what you should be doing, being a hollow instrument. So just God work through us, not just get thinking I am the doer, that is ahankara, that is the greatest thing, and mamakara, that is I want the results. Because these are the two greatest obstacles for us in spiritual path, ahankara and mamakara. So just get out of that thing and think, Lord, work through me. That is why the famous thing Lord Krishna says in Arjuna to Gita is nimitta matram bhava savyasachin. Oh Arjuna, you are just happen to be a nimitta matra. You are just instrument. You happen to be there. I already killed Drona, Bhishma, all those people he shows in his cosmic vision, but everybody is already gone. So just, he says, you are just an instrument. You just happen to be there. I'm giving credit to you, not that you have killed. So we should always think, Lord, let me be an instrument. You are the real doer. I am not. I happen to be there. That conviction should be there. First is practice. Third point is, true love expands the self, attachment contracts it. So we should have love, expansion love, not contraction love. That is what Swami, one time we had interview, he said that, you see that more and more people come, more and more people I share, I'm so happy. Whereas in your house, it is really practical. I didn't realize that. Here in America, particularly in the beginning, now it may happen. My patients used to say, old people, oh, what happened? Oh, now I'm stressed out. What happened? My children and grandchildren came, they are here for 1 week, it was okay. Now they are still staying there. It is causing me stress. Where in India, we will feel so happy. My God, my family came, we are together. Here, because it's contraction love, just they want to be left alone. They want their space. They don't want children, grandchildren after a while. Just for a short while, it is okay. That's contraction love. Whereas in India, we used to have joint families, people together. That means you share everything. So here, Swami says, that's why he told one time he was scolding somebody, see, when I came, but so many people come, I'm more and more happy with it because we want to share expansion love, not contraction. Because that will be, then his next point, it relates to that. Heaven is within you. He says, people think, where is heaven? Tana santoshame tana sargamu. Beautifully, Swami says, your happiness is, you are happy, it is, you are in Swarga. Tana dukkhame narakamu. That means you are depressed, grief, and sorrowful. There is no hell anywhere else. That is hell. You are living in hell, even though on this earth. And you are living in heaven, you are always joyful, blissful. So one time I remember this is Swami called me and Haima to Kodaikanal in 1994. We went there, stayed with him for 3 weeks. So my mother, Swami is very specific whom he wants. So she said, we didn't tell, Swami doesn't want to tell even anybody, she come there. But my mother came to know, I said, Swami, I heard Kodaikanal, I also want to come. Swami said, why do you want to Kodaikanal? I heard staying with you there is like being in heaven. Swami first, he said, how do you know heaven? Did you ever go to heaven? How do you know? He's very tricky. How do you know? No, Swami. Then he says, wherever Swami is there, that is heaven. Right now I am here, that is heaven. When now, that is heaven. So wherever you are in tune with God, that is heaven. So wherever you are happy and peaceful, that is heaven. So heaven is within us. That is why not outside. That is why Swami says, pieces are outside, peace is within. Seek happiness not in the outside, but within yourself. Because why outside? Problem? Next one. Always problems. That is like a rose with thorns. Rose, we enjoy the beauty and fragrance, but there are thorns around the rose, right? Similarly, in life, always there is nobody, as we said, whether you are a king or a pauper or a president or an ordinary man, or you are rich or poor or saintly or sinner, everybody has their own problem. So you may have health problem, neck pain, back pain, or foot pain, or you may lose your wealth, or you may lose your loved ones. So some kind of problem, there is nobody. That is why Lord Krishna another formula gave, anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajaswama. This world, by definition, is temporary, anityam. Asukham, there is a lot of problem. That is uniform for everybody, not for some. So, what is the solution? Anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajaswama. So, meditate on me, or worship me, sing my glories. That is the solution. So here is saying there is no pure happiness. Everything is the problems go along with that. So night and day, troubles and happiness. So that is why Swami says pleasure is interval between two pains. These are all his formulas. Pleasure is interval between two pains. So there is no permanent happiness, permanent thing, except real happiness is union with God. When you are then, you are always in bliss. Till then, you will be going through this drama, roller coaster, up and down, up and down. And finally, the most important message, the divinity is all pervasive. Isha, in the lowest form to the highest human being. That means what all exists is divinity. Isha Vasyamadam Sarvam. Everything is pervaded by the divine. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Everything is divinity. So even Lord Krishna says, Samas Sarveshu Bhuteshu Tishtantam Parameshwaram. In every being, everything, the Lord is sitting there. Then what is the difference? Why special about human being? Because even gods, that is what Lord Krishna says, Chine Punye Matya Loka Vishanti. When you do good karma, good deeds, you will become demigods, devatas, you will be in heaven. But even that is temporary. Once it is done, your good karma, you will be born as humans. So to manifest the best upadhi, best vesture is human being. Only through human life, God gave a special privilege, what we could be liberated. You could be one with God. You could be liberated from the cycle of birth and death. So that is the highest thing. Why? So Ami said, but in the lowest form also there is God. In this table there is God. In the camera, everything, because there is nothing but divinity. Then what is the difference? Because depending upon the coverage, you can do two examples Swami gives. One is electricity is the same, right? Throughout the house, the electricity is the same. Your outlet is there, you put a 5-watt bulb, you will get little electricity. 200 watts, you will get more brighter. 1000 watts, it will be a lot. So what is the outlet? That is the one expressing. Electricity is the same. Or another example, beautiful said, there is a light there, and you cover it with a black cloth. Can you see the light? You cannot, because it is the light is there, the lamp, but you cover it black cloth. You can't see. That is tamas. Some people are inertia, bad, negative qualities, demonic qualities, anger, hatred, jealousy. Then divinity is not manifest. Then next you cover this lamp with a red cloth. Then you can see some, but not very clearly. That is a rajasic. People who are ambitious, I want to attain so much money, I want to have so much power. People who are rajasic, always ambitious people. So they will manifest a little bit, but not completely. Then you put a nice transparent white cloth around that lamp. Then you can see almost, you can see through and through, right? You can see the light very clearly. That is sattvic, where white, pure, you are more thinking about God, doing selfless service, loving people, no negative qualities. Then you manifest. That is why Swami said everything is the same divinity, but the manifestation. In the people who are tamasic and the lower thing, they don't manifest because it's covered by the tamas. And next is rajasic, and the highest is sattvic, through which you are manifest. Then the highest is gunatita. That means beyond the three gunas. That means you remove even that white cloth. Directly you are seeing the light. So first you remove the dark cloth, black, and then the red, and then the white. Even that is still a little obstacle. Completely remove everything, you directly perceive the light. That is the stage of Trigunatita. That is why Lord Krishna says in Gita, Traigunya Vishaya Vedat Nistraigunyam Bhava Arjuna. Arjuna, even this Vedas, all this is in the realm of these three gunas, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. But you should go beyond the three gunas. That is because that is real. God is Gunatita. God is not. So, but we are all bound by these various gunas. But it is in the gunas, when we are bound, it is not easy to go Gunatita. First, from tamasic, we should go to Rajasic, be always active instead of inertia. From there, go to Sattvic, always think about noble thoughts, talk noble things, listen noble things, do noble deeds. So then become pure in heart. Then finally, you will attain naturally you progress to the Gunatik. So this is very important. Just I gave reflections, and there are questions at the end of each letter. You can yourself reflect on them.
So, Doctor, do we have some comments from the audience? Should we ask them?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
Sayang, Dr. Reddy. I have one comment. It's incredible. Each phrase of Swami is all the teachings are in each one. In the second sentence, I would like if you could expand a little more. Let God work through you, and there will be no more duty. Because I feel there that Swami speaks about the real surrender, but at the same time, when he says there will be no more duty, can you tell us what do you feel about that, not having any more duty when we surrender to Swami?
That is in the highest sense. Let me tell you, we all know that these are also famous quotations, Swami, right? First says, duty without love is deplorable. That means some people, oh my God, I have to go to work because I have to have paycheck, support the family. There is no love. Just as a duty, they go to work and they, oh my God, what to do. That is deplorable. That is not good. Then he says, duty with love is desirable. So we all go, hey, so I'm seeing my patients, so I'm getting money, but at the same time, I'm helping them out. A teacher, I'm teaching, but still I'm helping out. Whatever we are doing, we're helping, but you do with love, just because we want to help. Whatever work, if my mother is cooking in the kitchen, oh, I have to do instead of, oh, I'm feeding my husband, children. So that is duty with love is desirable. Then highest is love without duty. That is divine. So you just have love, no more duty. Because Lord Krishna says in Gita, there also, Name parthasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana nanavaptam avaptyam vartayevachi karmani. I don't have any obligation to work. Like we have to work because we support a family, you have to do this because we have an obligation to take care. He says he doesn't have any obligation, but still I do because of love. I have no duty. There is no duty, but you are doing love. Similarly, a stage will come when we will be love for love's sake. No more duty. No, you are not bound. Once you say it is duty, you are bound by it. But here there is no love. Just spontaneously, the work will go through you. That is what it is. Then because you are divine, once you are love without duty, you are divine. So that is the stage you progress. First, duty without love, which is deplorable, bad. Then duty with love, which is desirable, at least that we should do. And then finally come up to a stage where love for love's sake, no more obligation, no duty. Like mother, closest you can tell is mother's love for child. So she doesn't, real mother's love doesn't, oh, my son should give this back to me once he grows up. That is selfish, but most of the times mother, love for love's sake, close to the divine love. So that is what Leonardo, I would expect. What do you think? You have any other thoughts?
No, myself, I think that what you have said is just perfect. And I think also that once Swami told me, I asked him for something, and he told me, you do your duty first, then I will give. And since then, I was always asking myself, what is my duty? And then one day I realized that my duty was to realize him in myself. And I think that what you said, when we fill ourselves with love, when we are completely surrendered to him and live, as in the first sentence, we make our life his message, then we are doing our duty.
Yeah, you're right. The highest duty, Swami said, is to realize who we are, self-realization. And also he said that is the greatest service also we can do is when we know ourselves, we know God, and we serve the best. Like the greatest example is saints of recent times, like Ramana Maharshi. He didn't move one place, but how much he influenced people by his love and by his divine deeds and thoughts. Okay, so if there is no more, you can go to the second letter.
Okay. Second letter. Assert your Godhead. My dear Rajagopal, accept my love and blessings. By your discretion, convert all stumbling blocks of the world into stepping stones to realization. The energy we waste in judging others is just what is needed to make us live up to our own ideals. Assert your Godhead. Fling into utter oblivion the little self, as if it had never existed. When the little bubble bursts, it finds itself the whole ocean. You are the whole, the infinite, the all. Dear Raja, out of long churning of this milk of the world comes butter, and this butter is God. Men of heart get the butter, and the buttermilk is left for the intellectual. Aim at a lion and miss it, rather than hunt a jackal and catch it. Let God work through you, and there will be no more duty. Let God shine forth. Let God show Himself. Realize the truth, and the other things will take care of themselves. Raja, don't worry. Be happy. Swamiji is always with you, in you. Jyoti is very good girl. Make her happy and give santosh. With love, Baba. So this letter too is written to our long-time senior devotee, Rajagopal, and it is a combination of the highest truth and then Swami's love for the person itself. So he has put into it a lot of material, and firstly he's saying that we have a lot of obstacles in this world. We face challenges all the time. But if we face them, realizing that they're just tests and they'll pass, like passing clouds, as Swami says, then we can make them into stepping stones to realization. We can overcome the challenges. And the ultimate stage is where we don't get disturbed, where we don't get perturbed with anything. We just take it as it comes, thinking it's just a prasadam from God. Second point Swami is saying is very important, I think, because we are always judging others. We are being judgmental. We should give up being judgmental and just accept them, but judge our own fault. And Swami says, as long as you judge your own self and do better, you will not be unhappy. But when we judge others, we'll always be unhappy. Thirdly, it's the same concept, assert your Godhead, that we just discussed, Dr. Reddy commented on before, that we are all God, but we have to lose the little self, which relates to our attachment to objects, our pride, our self, our mamakara and ahankar, me and mine. So when we get rid of this, then we are with God, we are with Swami, and that is the journey. And then Swami is giving an example, just like we used to get butter out of milk. And even here in USA, if you watch the old movies, you'll see they used to churn the milk and then take out the butter. Like that, the men of heart get the butter, means they realize God, whereas the intellectuals, those who are focused on the ways and means and doing the rituals and all that, those are the intellectuals. So the journey is really from the head to the heart here, Swami is pointing out. And always better to aim for a lion, which means aim for the highest rather than aim for a lower aim. And the next paragraph is the same concept Swami said before, that we have to realize we are God and then practice it. And the last one is a personal benediction, personal blessing on Raja. Sairam.
Yeah, so this thing is, in life, there are obstacles, right? Everybody, whatever we do, he himself puts the thing. There's a beautiful bhajan we used to say, Tu hi banaye, tu hi bigade, is jag ke sare kam. That means, Lord, you create things and you give the obstacles too, but he removes the obstacles. That is the fun. So you see all the levelas, he gives us troubles, but if you pray to him, he will remove it. So, but how you approach these obstacles? So Swami says there are three kinds of people. First, it happens at work, in my office girl. Can you take care of call this patient? Oh, I don't think he may be in the at home. Oh, is there? No, he had call at work. I don't know, I don't have the numbers. Some excuse they won't want, but some people, they want same thing in the organization. You do that, I don't know, this is not the time to disturb them. I think we should not do that. I think these hard people may not like something in the beginning itself, they don't want to do it. We used to have some leaders like that in the past. He says, if you don't want to get anything done, go to him. Because he will say, no, this is not good. First he will say, no, it's not. That is the lowest kind. They don't want to arambimperu nichemanu. They don't want to even start anything because they think, oh, there will be a problem. Then the next step, middlings, they start, okay, let us do this, enthusiasm. And then give up in the middle. This obstacle coming, that guy is giving trouble, this guy is trouble. So this is not for me. I would rather think and contemplate, like Arjuna wanted to do. First he was enthusiasm to do the war, but once he saw he was some explanation, he wanted to give up. That is the middling. But the greatest ones are those having made a resolve. They will never leave till the goal is reached. That is the famous quotation from Kathopanishad. Everybody knows, favorite of Swami Vivekananda. What is that? Uttishtata jagrata prapya varan nibodhita. Arise. It means don't be slumber. Arise. Awake. Once you get up, you should be alert, awake. And stop not till the goal is reached. Till you reach the goal, you should not stop. Go on walking, then you will reach the goal. So you don't take a detour or distracted. So we need to march forward in spite of the obstacle till the reach goal. They are the highest. That is why Swami says perseverance and is very, very important in spiritual life. Sometimes people give up. There is the famous thing called dark night of the soul, even Christian literature, and everywhere it is there. Sometimes, what is happening? I am not having the glimpse of the bliss. But you should continue your practice. Swami says, Niyama Nishtalatoda Nanukulchu Varini Kapadu Chundetika. Always we have discipline. You want to do every morning, evening prayers, and do it with a lot of faith. You can, as 1 to 1 hour in the morning, hour in the evening, slowly increase to 2 hours, 10 hours. The whole day becomes a day of worship and thinking. So that is the perseverance one should have, and don't worry about the obstacles. And already we talked about judging others. The famous quotation of Lord Jesus is, judge not so that you may be judged. That is a very famous thing where the prostitute was being stoned by people. He said, among you, the one who has never sinned can cast the first stone. Then everybody turned away. That means everybody does the mistakes. Don't be critical and judgmental, because then we get the sin of them. So if you can help somebody, do it, but don't be judgmental. And Swami's famous thing, if you show one finger, 3 things are showing at you. So very careful. Criticism is, Swami says, is like cleaning somebody with your tongue, that they are dirt. So don't make your tongue dirty by criticism. That is the famous quotation of Shirdi Baba. And then he says, butter. God is butter, world is buttermilk. That is why, what did Lord Krishna Rai like? Stealing. He didn't steal buttermilk, he stole butter. Butter is the soft, pure heart. So, because that is what God is. He is soft, he is pure, and he was kind. So that Swami says, try to, by sadhana, try to experience that butter, divinity, and leave behind this other thing. And finally he says, always aim high. Low aim is a great crime. So we should, so it says, if you think of going to Himalayas, Mount Everest, at least you will go to Mount Baldy. So it says something. So if you don't reach Mount Baldy, you will just go to little hillock. So there is so you should always aim high. So that is just, that is why he says, Swami says, aim at a lion rather than at a jackal. So then you can hear. So we need to, then finally he says, the famous song, Bhajan. Don't worry, be happy that Baba loves us. So that is the ends it. So the whole thing is life, the worry. So Swami says 3 things cause disease: hurry, worry, and curry. So we always hurry to do something. Oh, next one I have to do. This, and then eat too much curry, spicy food. Some people can't take without spice. So that will cause stomach. And then finally, this worry. Worry is, I think Swami Swami's the definition of worry. I was thinking what mentally created fear. You create your thing, oh, what will happen? 50-80% of what you think won't happen. But we are going on thinking about it, it will happen. And then you are really inviting that. So always sing this song whenever it is. Don't worry, be happy that Baba is with you. Swami is always with you. So we don't need to worry about it. Looks like it's almost, we cannot go to the next, it's almost, we are you have any question? Okay.
No, Doctor, I do not right
No,
now,
he
but
said
we're
yes.
almost out of time.
He said yes.
Oh, there is one question he's
Okay,
saying.
can finish it because fine.
No, really,
Go
I
ahead.
think it's me again. I think we don't have time, but this letter, I think, is a compendium of the divine wisdom and practical tips for us to live as Sai devotees. And also, I think that, for example, the second sentence, the energy we waste in judging others is just what we need to make us live up to our own ideals. He's telling us that we have a certain amount of energy in our lives, but if you use it in the wrong direction, we'll never reach the goal. So I think this is an incredible, and I enjoy very much all what you have said, because here is a lot of teachings of Swami of how to live. And that's what I wanted to comment.
Good comment. So that's what Swami said. If you waste energy, one time he was joking, you'll get a lot of allergies. So don't waste energy in doing these wrong things. So just be healthy, focus on the good. Thanks. That was a good comment.